that?
I believe it was 5 separate craft. That's some straight UFO shit right there.
That's when I started seeing all of the lights and the contact that I've been witnessing.
I just kept filming and looking up at the sky, and it just started happening more frequently.
Look, what is that? What is that? What was that?
Hi, I'm Heather McLaren, ESTP Footages from Scotland, and you're watching Alien Strand Podcast with Donald Ledesma.
AlienStrand.com, the official website.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Desma, and welcome to today's show. Man, let me tell you, there's just some changes that are being made, man. Thank you guys for watching right now. I know this was all of a sudden, but, you know, I got a hold of some footage earlier, and, you know, I've heard this before a few times, you know, on as I've been doing more research on ufology, right, and extraterrestrials, abductions, things like that, right, and you know, we always try to figure out these things. You know, are they human or are they not? Or, you know, I just think sometimes they're unhuman because we get stories of these extraterrestrials as they're, you know, as people think that they're possibly us in the future, right? And that's a possibility. We don't know that really for sure, right? So that's why we always try to figure these things out, right? I mean, are they really us? I don't know, man. I don't know. We've heard this story and that story of these extraterrestrials, whether they are, whether they're not. You know, and it's a possibility. But anyway, welcome to Alien Strand Podcast. We're live here on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch, man. We're here, and just hopefully you guys have checked out the movie The Middle Part 2 on Amazon Prime. Yay, it's actually out on Amazon Prime. We're so happy, man, that it actually made it. Hey, hold on. There you go. That's right, because we need an applause, man, because it took forever to get it up on Amazon Prime. Now it's up, so now we need people to go and watch it. And if you have watched it, give us a thumbs up after it finishes, or even go on your Amazon app and just write a small review if you liked it, if you thought it was interesting. Hey, everything helps us make this go a longer way to more disclosure, right? And don't forget, there's going to be a part 3, and there's going to be a final one, part 4, that's going to be coming out later this year. Heck yeah. So part 3 is already done, man. It's done. I'm just kind of waiting for it to you know, for this movie to get out there a little bit before I release part 3. And then once I upload it, of course, it's going to take another month by the time Amazon Prime gets it. Yada, yada. Here we go. Right? Here we go. So, and it'll get up there. It will get up there, man. But and just be patient. These films, you know, they do take a lot of work, and I've been doing a lot of work on these films, just trying to get them out. Of course, the past couple of years, and sometimes it takes filmmakers about 2 to 3 years, sometimes, just to do one. And I've been putting these out back to back. So, and I'm just kind of working hard, you know, diligently on these things, and just trying to make them to where the disclosures are for you guys to see, and the proof is there. The proof is in the pudding, man. That's where it's at. And you know, I just hope you guys get a lot out of these podcasts, these films that are out there on Amazon Prime. I hope you guys do. You know, and it's one of those things that we really have to get disclosure out. And there's many filmmakers out there that are actually making a difference as well, right? So, and that's what we got to do. we all got to just kind of help each other and get this out there to as many people as possible, right? And that's why not, right? I mean, that's what we have to do, that to help one another, to get the disclosure out to as many people as possible. And of course, these films is what actually does it for a lot of folks, right? So here it is right there. There's the middle two. If you don't know what the poster looks like, go check it out on Amazon Prime. Go look for it. It's right there. All right. And don't forget, watch the middle, the first middle. Go check it out. It's on actually on our YouTube page. We did get a few subscribers to our YouTube. We're actually live on YouTube as well right now. So if you're watching, thank you guys. I appreciate you. And you know, the YouTube is it's going slowly. It's a slow thing. It's a slow burn, man. I mean, we started it kind of late. I wish we got it going a few years ago, but hey, it is what it is. We're getting it going today as it's going, right? So hey, what can we do? But you know what? I'm just trying to tell you guys that the topic of today was, you know, it's either unhuman, right? Or what are these things, you know, that a lot of people come in contact with. Of course, the other podcast I did the other day with Mr. Ryan Keaton, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got it about 30 minutes later, right? So about 30 minutes in the beginning is kind of rough, but the later 30 minutes are great of that last podcast. If you go back, go check that one out. It's a great podcast with Ryan Keaton. It gives you a lot to kind of think about it on his disclosure of all the pictures and videos that he's catching, right? But what I want to say is that, you know, what's up, my brother? Who's out there? Oh, 210 UFO. That's him, Ryan Keaton. He's out there watching. Thank you. I appreciate you, you know, listening right now. Go to his page and live on Facebook. He's going to have some live stuff going on pretty soon here, maybe today. I don't know. He has some live UFO where he's catching these orbs. Go to 210 UFO there on Facebook and on TikTok. Go check him out there. So anyway, we're talking about these UFOs, right? And these aliens, these extraterrestrials, are they human? Are they demons? What the heck are these things, right? And that's what we're about here on Alien Strand, right? We try to give you as much information on these things as possible, right? Now, as you're watching this podcast today, I want you guys to just kind of keep an open mind, right? Keep an open mind. I am going to show you a video that's, you know, it's going to have some kind of religious aspects in there. It's going to throw some of that in there, but I just want you to kind of think about what this gentleman is saying and the disclosure that comes along with it, right? Because that's what it is. No matter how you look at it, a lot of these ufologists out there that are doing this stuff have been doing ufology for many years, you know, more than even myself. So these guys have studied many people, have talked to many people, and when it comes to an actual alien abduction, there's something there, man, that some things are different uh, as far as some of these people that were abducted were really religious, right? So, you know, they said some things to these extraterrestrials as they were getting abducted. And when that happened, the abduction immediately ceased and stopped, right? And that's what kind of got me kind of thinking a little bit today, you know, because you know what? Let me throw this out there for you guys because I think that you guys should actually kind of have a listen in on this. Remember, I keep a really open mind on everything, right? On everything, it's scientific, religious. I see everything as historical books and actually a learning process. I don't care what book it is. I'm going to read it. Yeah, you know, even if it's a Bible or you know the Book of Enoch, you know the Sumerian texts. You know, we're going to read those things and we're going to try to figure out what happened in the past, right, and what's happening now. So and I keep a very open mind when I'm doing these things, right, because I like to just kind of put two and two together and try to go from there. Now, this video I'm going to show you here is of a gentleman. He's talking about these abductions that have been happening to people over and over, right? And they, it's hard for them to kind of like explain exactly what's happening to them at that time, right? Because as these abductions are happening, you know, and they say these things, it's hard for people to believe them as they come along, right? And who believes them? Right? It's just like Ryan said in our movie. Who's going to believe me, man? They're going to think I'm freaking nuts when I'm telling you these things. But those are the things that you're going to hear this gentleman say. And I hope you guys just kind of keep an open mind, think about it. And, I'm not telling you to go that way or this or whatever, but it's just something to think about, right? And so everything that I put out here, I don't care what video it is, it just gets me thinking all the time, right? So here we go. I'm going to show you this video. I hope you guys are watching. I hope you guys are digging today's podcast. And just remember, here we go. I'm going to show this video. Keep an open mind and just listen what this gentleman has to say. Here we go.
There's over 400 cases, that I'm aware of with collaborators that I work with, where these abductions have been halted by people calling on the name of Jesus Christ. Now, I don't want to diminish people's experiences, but, I've had comments, well, you wear an aluminum hat or aluminium hat and that can keep them away and, that type of stuff. No. And in the movie, we have the testimonies of these people who were having these experiences. They were terrified, and in the moment of terror, they recalled or called out to their childhood memories of who Jesus was. And the instant his name was called, it stopped. Okay?
So why do these aliens respond to Jesus?
Exactly. Exactly. And that indicates the spiritual nature of what is going on. So the evidence is spiritual, and then when we get to the level of abductions, deceptive messages are being given to people, but then when they're halted in the name of Jesus, that is incredibly powerful. And again, when I'm saying that we've now got hundreds of testimonies, and I can't mention names, but I know people in the higher levels of UFO investigations that actually readily acknowledge this, but because of their positions, they can't actually come forward and candidly reveal this. So in some respects, this is one of the best kept secrets. One of the guys, my colleagues, my collaborators who worked on this, when he found this out, he wasn't a Christian at the time. And he kind of said, well, okay, what is it about Jesus that these aliens don't like? And he rang up his colleagues in MUFON and said, look, we think we found something. We've got these testimonies of people in the moment of their inductions. They said a prayer, they sang a psalm, a hymn, something Christian that was spiritual, and the abductions stopped. And so what is it about Jesus that they don't like? And he found out that his colleagues in MUFON already knew about it.
Wow.
And their simple answer was, okay, so aliens don't like Jesus. Big deal.
So this is non-Christians in MUFON. Can you just say what does MUFON?
MUFON is Mutual UFO Network. It's the world's largest UFO investigation group here in the US.
All right. So if you saw that whole thing, you kind of get where I'm coming from, right? What I was talking about before when I started this podcast, right? Here a little while ago. Keep an open mind, right? Keep an open mind on what exactly that you just heard, what you saw. That what he was saying was it was something of a spiritual kind of thing, right? Whether you believe or you don't, that's up to you, man. We're not here to make you believe or believe in anything like that, but these are the stories that come out over and over that are hidden in the background, mind you. They're hidden in the background for people not to see sometimes, because there is a stigma to that as well, right? There is a stigma with religion. It's the same thing. Any religion, I don't care what you are, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, anything, there's going to be a stigma to it. Now, if this was a Buddhist or something and he was calling out to Buddha, would it have stopped? Maybe. And it's a spiritual kind of thing that he was talking about, really, in reality, that these things were in fear of, right? And why? That's the thing. That's the question. I mean, why do you think, you guys out there, if you're watching right now, I mean, why do you think that is? I mean, it's kind of crazy how he talked about as they were getting abducted, that these things happened, and it ceased the minute they mentioned the word of the Jesus, right? So how does that happen, right? During an abduction, and then they MUFON knew about it, right? It's like, oh yeah, we know that they don't like Jesus, right? Why? Are these things evil, man? Are they got evil intentions? This is what I'm trying to think about. I think about these things like, remember I always talk to you about are they in this dimension, the same dimension as spiritual beings, right? As far as like demonic spiritual beings, are they in that same realm of some sort? And these are the things that I ponder on, because as I'm doing ufology, I look at UFOs, and we see these things every day, broad as daylight, right? Um, and most of us are starting to see these crafts more and more now, right? So you start thinking about, well, wait a minute, if a lot of these demonic things or spiritual things that happen in our homes, um, they only happen at night, or when only you're sitting by yourself, you see something move or something fly by, right? Um, and that's kind of rare. You don't get to see that everyone, that many times, or even if you do see it, it's just something that happens quick, something you can't see. But yet we're still seeing these UFOs as they're flying above us in the skies, right? Daily, during the day, during the evening, they're manifesting themselves, in our atmosphere, right? Thousands of these things, thousands of them that are up there. We've seen them, man. Ani Ball, he has a lot of great footage of 'em. These things are just going chung 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 chung. They're just flying by, and they're not bugs. We know that they're not, because they're just going in different kind of patterns, man. Straight lines, things that bugs won't do. So you start thinking about these things. Okay, why is it that we see these things in broad daylight, right? Or we don't see him like a demon, like we see in the movies, right? Like in The Exorcist, and you only saw things happening to a certain person, and you never saw the demon, what it looked like, right? You never actually really see it. These bad spiritual demonic entities. But we all hear the same thing with these with Christianity, the priests and things like that, where they talk about they have to get an exorcist, and get somebody out there and make these things go away, right? So when they do that, hey, what happens, right? And these are the things that we think about, right? Why is it that happens at that certain moment? And I always try to think about that too. I mean, why is it that that's happening um like that, and then it's able to go away at that certain time that you're doing that, right? Paranormal policies, yeah. Ryan says there's a reason the Vatican updated these, which is their paranormal policies, because of that, right? Because of the UFOs. I think they're trying to separate it as well, right? With either are these things demonic, or there's something else? Are they something else? I don't know. I don't know. And that's the things that we try to figure out. Why these things are what they are, right? Or what are they, right? We don't know. We don't know what they are. And I just, in my head, I'm trying to contemplate this. What, is these are these things like real? Like, are they demons or whatever? And then they take us on this ship that's actually you can put your feet on, metal, or whatever it is, and they take you away, right? But yet during let's just say an exorcism or demonic exorcism, you don't see no spaceship or something metal or something that they fly in or whatever. It's totally different thing, right? But they all kind of follow the same rules. That's what it is, right? I think that's what it is, man. They all just kind of follow the same rules. And I'm going to show you this video here because this is a cool one. This is a broad day. This is one in broad daylight. Uh, I love these because it's like these things are like in clouds, right? I think Facebook just kicked me out. It looked like it did. That's all right. That's okay. I still got all these other channels. So what is it that we're gonna see here? Just watch. This is this UFO in a cloud. Watch this. Yeah. What does that? So out there in audio land, it's a cloud that's actually doing a flip, a somersault, probably about looks like about 100, 200 feet above the ground. And it's it just kind of it blows you away how these things are broad daylight now, right? I wish these people would stop putting music on their videos, because that's what flags me most of the times. Well, on Facebook, when the music starts coming out, they flag me right away. So anyway, but the video is great, man. These people are catching these things at broad daylight, man, broad daylight, and the seeing is believing. This is what you're seeing. I mean, do you think that was a cloud that was actually sitting still and throwing flips like that? I don't. I don't. Not one bit. Not one bit, man. Yeah, Ryan says that's awesome. Yeah, it is. That is an awesome video. You know, that's why I threw it out today, because I saw it today. I was like, wow, another great one, right? Another great one in the clouds. And that's what's the cool part about it, right? You know, I have another one. This is another one at night. So it's like a real quick one. Somebody kind of took a video of the clouds, and it looks like a huge, huge UFO, but at night, right? And this is what I'm trying to tell you, how these things are manifesting themselves at night during the day, and there are these large freaking UFOs up in the sky. We know they're large because even when they're far away, they look huge. We know that it's a large, large craft in our cameras. So here we go. Cloud? You think that's a cloud with some light up there, kind of, giving that light coming down? I don't know. I doubt it, but it is great footage, right? And and that's the thing that we're trying to do here. How do we explain what these entities are, right? If they're hovering above our homes, or or hovering above the area where you're at, like that video I showed you a couple of days ago, in California. She's getting these orbs floating in her yard, right? Now there's an extraterrestrial standing behind the thing, right? And this is the hard part to show people of how do you get people to understand exactly what they're seeing. And a lot of us have to break it down, because the videos are like sometimes far away. We have to zoom them in a little bit and kind of fix them up, and just try to get rid of the pixelation. And then we use analysis to try to get them clarified just a little bit for you guys. And then you start seeing the big picture, right? And that's what we do at ASDP, Alien Disclosure Project. All the team members, that's what they do. They work at it. But then there's some UFOs that actually look just like a UFO right up close. You don't have to do that for some that are too far away. There's some that are real close. I'm going to show you this video here in a minute. And it's an actual extraterrestrial craft that's hovering over some houses. I love those. I love those, man. I love those, because, you don't see those very often. No, you don't. So let me show you that. I'm going to show you this. This is my last video. But let me show this to you and I'll break it down for you. I mean, you're gonna see it clear as day, and it's gonna go slow motion. Might have some music, their music, not mine. Let's go ahead and play it.
Capturado en Estados Unidos en este 2024 y válgame Dios, oiga, señora, señor, imagínese usted lo que sentiría estar en los zapatos de este videoaficionado que tuvo la oportunidad, no sé si vaya en el interior de su automóvil capturando, lo repito, casi pues a escasos metros puede tocar este extraño objeto volador no identificado, pero por supuesto, muchos nos quedamos con la duda, si esta persona va, pues incluso caminando, ¿por qué no te atreves a acercarte un poquito más? Aviéntale una sandalia, una piedra, un palo, no lo sé, es totalmente increíble lo que está sucediendo. ¿Por qué en Estados Unidos, me pregunto yo? ¿Y por qué con un descaro, con una desfachatez, estos extraños objetos levitantes se están dejando ver, circulando, recorriendo el espacio aéreo de una manera tan tranquila como diciendo, papá, si le vas a grabar, pues grábale bien? Lo que sorprende bastante es...
It's in Spanish, but he's pretty much telling you that there's a UFO right there, man. And it's hard to believe that it's there, right? What you're seeing. If that's not concrete evidence that these things are solid, it's a solid piece of metal floating above us. I don't know what is. See how close that thing was? Man. So out in audio land, it's this UFO that is hovering over this house, like literally maybe 20 feet above this house. And it's just probably about the size of maybe a car, I'm going to say, or a large truck. And it's just going over, and they zoomed in on it, and you could actually see the underneath this craft. You can see the those little magnetic balls that are spinning underneath, right? That kind of gives it its balance or propulsion or whichever direction it's going to go. You know, that's not no drone. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That ain't no drone. So, and that's these are my points. You know where I'm trying to what I'm talking about. Unhuman, right? Are these things unhuman? What we always look, like I said, we always look at these videos. We always see that there's a UFO. There's a UFO. There's another UFO. But we never talk about the pilot that's inside of that UFO or what the hell do they want at that area, right? Or could they have just picked up somebody and we don't even know it? You don't even see it. Did it just happen, right? And this is why it's important to report these UFOs and your abductions or your encounters to any UFO community. Really, in reality, go to the ones that are real serious, like Ryan was talking about the other day. He said he went to one to try to kind of explain what he was seeing, and then he says those people were brutal towards him on a the Dr. Greer group out there. There were some that were super that's not a UFO, that's not and instead of trying to help out the situation, they just attacked him right away, right? And now don't go to those kind of groups. I mean, I like the guy, the Greer, but they don't have no policing, right, that are in those groups at all. So Sue Harrison is out there. She says, I'd like to share one with you that someone just sent me that happened in Columbus, Ohio. All right. Right on. Send it to me, girl. I'll put it out there. That's what this podcast is about. This is what a lot of these podcasts are about, man. I mean, to get you aware of what's out there, right? But we always talk about the inhuman or the unhuman, what I was talking about today. Our film, The Middle, Part 2, brings that out. Part 3 is going to bring it out even more, right? Because we have another person that she had an awful encounter with something that cut a piece off of her body, okay? And blacked out. And that's in our part 3 film. And you'll see that. because that's why I made these films, to show you there's a different side to extraterrestrials, not just to glorify these things. I'm not glorifying them at all. I'm bringing awareness to people with these podcasts that I do, or with Alien Strand, or with everything out there. It's awareness, man. And because not everything is going to be a real peachy or a really nice abduction, right? Because remember, they don't come and knock on your door and say, "Hey, would you like to come? Here's some cookies. Here's some chocolate milk. Come on, Joe, come on, let's go have a picnic. We're gonna jump on in the ship. Let's go." Right? Do they come knock on your door? No, they don't. They just come in. They'll come in the middle of the night. They'll take you. That's why it's an abduction. That's why they call it that. It's not a visitation. And these are the things you have to think about, right? And this is the awareness that I'm bringing out for you today. I want you to just think a little bit, right? These things do have a darker side to them. You know, sometimes, like Ryan was talking about our last podcast, sometimes he has bad dreams, about these things. They're showing him destruction, you know, the end of the world, end of times kind of thing, right? They'll show you like the planet is dying, or, you need to fix it or clean it up. Some of them do that, but they always show you some bad stuff that's going to happen to the world as well, right? They put these thoughts in your head of some awful things are coming, right? Not good things, not like, "Hey, tomorrow, hey, it's gonna be a nice day. You're gonna do this. You're gonna have everybody's gonna have $1 million in the bank. It's gonna be a great day." No, there's gonna be atomic bombs blowing up, tidal waves, explosions everywhere, dead people everywhere. That's what they're showing you. Fire, destruction, right? It's nothing good, man. So just think about that, and just think about the video I showed you here earlier. Not telling you to believe that part of it or whatever. That's up to you, man. I just bringing the evidence to you as it comes, right? These are the some of the evidence stories that are hidden in the back. At the very back, right? In the back of the shelf, they have the dust on it. Some things people don't want to talk about because they're afraid that, no, you're just God, Jesus kind of person, and you this and you that, and you. No, man, no. Just keep an open mind. That's all I'm saying. Keep an open mind. That's what I was talking about. For everybody to be good to each other, be happy, just love one another, things like that, because it's a positive vibe, man. That's what you're carrying with you, a positive vibe. When you have that positive vibe, you give that positive vibe to somebody else, right? They could be having a bad day. Say, "Hey, man, having a good day, man. I hope you're having a really great day, wonderful day." Might make them feel better just for that little bit. But these are the things that we pass along to other people, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Yep. Ryan says the deeper you get into the questions, it just piles up. Exactly. He says you'll never know what somebody's going through. You don't. I mean, that's why, it's sometimes it's good to just it's not sometimes. Do it all the time, man. Be kind to one another. Because it just pay it forward. That's the best thing to do, right? And all I was talking about was just being given a positive vibe. So if these extraterrestrials are taking you in the middle of the night, even if you don't believe in Jesus or God or Buddha or whatever, hey, I even heard this one too. I've told it before. They don't like jokes. So you could tell them a joke, and because it makes you laugh. It's happiness, right? They don't like them. I heard this one of the stories in the past. I read about it that they told a joke and they let them go from getting abducted. They said, say jokes. They don't like it. Isn't that crazy? Why? Because it's happiness, man. Think about that just for a minute. Just for a minute. But these are the things that are kind of hidden in the background from everybody, right? Because hey, we don't know exactly what you're coming in contact with, and that's why when I saw that video today, I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw it out there for you guys to see because I thought it was important, man. I thought it was important because no matter where it's coming from, whether it's in the back burner or it's on a shelf somewhere or somebody's throwing it out there, I think it should be heard, right? I think everything should be heard as far as disclosure, UFOs, abductions, even encounters. I think all that should be heard. Even if you read my book, I all I do is stay positive, man. Stay focused. Because the frequencies you carry travel on through eons, man. They travel through the universe. Really, in reality, it's all connected. We are all connected. And one thing, did you know? This is a did you know? Did you know that the Earth and the Sun have been going apart from each other since the beginning? So the Earth moves away from the Sun 6 centimeters per year. Did you know that? 6 centimeters per year. In other words, every year we move away from the sun. Another year, we move away from the sun. Another year, we move away from the sun. But you won't see the destruction or anything like that in your lifetime. We all will be gone by the time the new Earth comes in, and it won't be us. We're going to be frozen in time out there somewhere else. The next planet that's behind us will be the new Earth. Yeah, it will. So it just tells you that the universe expands. It doesn't contract. It expands because everything is moving. Everything. And maybe that's why these extraterrestrials are coming here and saying, you know what? We better kind of get them before they're all gone, right? Because after that, we can't come here no more. We're going to have to go look for a dinosaur or something somewhere and abduct that, right? Dinosaurs might eat us, right? Who knows, man? Who knows? But that's exactly what happens. So if you didn't know, now you do. Now you do. But I hope you guys just got a little bit out of it today. It was just a short little podcast, not very long. But I wanted you guys to kind of get a little bit of logistics of that. There's back shelf stuff, right? There's stuff in the back shelf that people need to learn about, and I hope you did learn a little bit today. Even if I just kind of tweaked your mind just a little bit, just to know that the knowledge out there of ufology, extraterrestrials, abductions, all that, they go together. Yes, even demonology, even um, you know, Christianity, religions, all that kind of mixes together because they all came from us, right? We all created it, and it all mixes together. We just got to figure out why this was doing this, why that does that, and just kind of go from there. And I don't know if we'll ever know that, and that's the scary part about it. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that. All we're gonna end up doing is just speculating, of course. Um, and some people will get the answers. They'll talk to them, these ETs, and they'll tell them exactly why they're here, exactly what they're doing, and why they're doing it, and or maybe they'll talk into our governments and all that stuff, and they're just telling them, hey, this is why we do. I mean, we already heard about the Majestic 12, all that stuff. The meetings with Roosevelt and the exchange and the treaty, and there's been so many stories all mixed into these things that it's kind of hard to, you know, where do we go, right? Where do we go next? First there was a treaty, then we broke the treaty. Now there's no treaty, and now they're coming to getting humans. Now they're getting cows and whatever. How do we kind of really explain that to ourselves to keep that same narrative? Do we stick with that narrative? That's the thing. Or we just keep on opening up Pandora's box just a little bit more, right? And I just think that we should just keep on opening up the box because we're as citizen ufologists, because that's what I am. That's what you are out there. If you're watching today, you are a citizen ufologist learning everything there is to know about ufology, uh, abductions, the spiritual side of it, the universe, everything that comes along with ufology, quantum physics. You can learn a lot from quantum physics, man. I'm going to tell you right now. You need to, if you have a chance, if you're bored one day, just sitting there kind of flicking through, if you've already seen the same seasons and episodes on your Netflix, just go look at something that has something to do with quantum physics on YouTube. You'll learn a lot, and your mind will open up. You start figuring things out that, wow, that kind of makes sense, right? Not that you're going to be a professor or anything like that, but hey, YouTube is a wonderful thing, and Rumble's a great thing to learn too. A lot of these platforms are great to learn and read a book. Read this book if you want to, right? Speaking of, I had an author just sent me his book. I've been waiting on this for about a month. So the title of this book is called SESG Explorer, written by Christopher Lork. This is it. He just sent it to me. So I am going to read it. It's a pretty nice little read. And I'll have him on the show. We'll talk about his book and he's got several books out there. But I just received it in mail. So Christopher, if you're watching tonight, or you're listening, I just got your book, brother. So I'll read it. Give me a couple weeks with it. We'll get a podcast going, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. 210 says, it all seems to go back to one supreme being, one creator of all. Hey, something made all this happen, man. Whether you believe it or you don't. Where there's good, there's evil, man. It is what it is. But we have to really dissect everything that we get as far as abductions, not encounters, abductions. An abduction is totally different from an encounter, right? An encounter is just something that you see from a distance, or they saw you, this thing saw you. An abduction, totally different. That means they physically grabbed you. They physically pulled you, or they beamed you into that ship and did some, experimented with you. You were their guinea pig. That's what makes that more traumatic. The PTSD mainly sinks in on things like that. Even like Regina Palmer, because she got cut up so bad, it affected her. It put some sort of fear within her, but has overcome that over the years. Of that fear of what happened to me. I don't know what happened to me. Something did happen to me, right? Some other people's abductions or experiences are more traumatic than others. We know that for a fact. Linda Suber, hey, hi there. She says, keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you. It's all I do is I speak the truth. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. I say it the way it is, right? And a lot of people just kind of don't like that sometimes. They don't like me because of that. But hey, man, you know what? I defend you, and I defend people out there that have gone through this and have had traumatic episodes, I'll defend them to the T, man. I'll defend anybody out there that has been in that situation, because I know, and I've seen them. I've seen their tears of what they've gone through, and that is the most traumatic part of it, even for myself, because it gets me thinking even afterwards, right? Like even after I just videoed somebody for a couple of hours, you have to, it affects me as well, because I start thinking about it. Man, I wonder how they felt. I wonder if they're still feeling that way. And I hope that something makes them feel better. I hope I made them feel better some sort of way, right? Or just somebody can help, or let me find somebody that can help this person, if I can't, because sometimes it's hard for a woman to talk about those things to a man, right? Sometimes it's easier for a woman to talk to a woman about it. And I get it. I get that part. But and these are the parts that make me think a little bit more and want to get the stories out there to you guys as much as possible because of that. Because you guys need to know this. you know I've always said that I'm the voice of the voiceless. We actually are the voice of the voiceless. All of us at Alien Strand Disclosure Project, Terry Lynch, Chris Hamill, Marisol, Danielle, everybody out there, man. Everybody out there. Paul Wellborn. We have so many people on Alien Strand Disclosure Project. David Aliff. Everybody out there that helps people. Cindy Grigsby. We're all over map the United States. We're in different countries now. You know, Heather McClellan out in Ireland. We have her now. Great person she is. And all these people I have come in contact with, and I've gotten so close to them because they have had some stories and things that have happened to them over the years that I've helped, and we've all helped each other kind of grow past what has happened, right? So in that sense, we use that information. We use all that information and data that we have from between all of us to help other people that have experienced the exact same thing. That's why the movie The Middle has touched a lot of people. The middle part too. As soon as they see it, they're already sending me instant messages. Man, I just saw your film. I've experienced something like that. I've been through that. You know, and it touched them in a way to where it's like, not in a sad way, but just like an eye opener, right? And that's what these films are about, and that's what we need to do, is keep getting this disclosure out there for you, for everyone out there, to just understand that we don't all wear tinfoil hats, and even if we do, so what? So what? I said it in a couple of podcasts before. If you put a tinfoil hat on, all those Wi-Fi signals and all that stuff that turns your brain into mush, it actually reflects it away from your brain. Ah, great. Yeah, I just told you that. So that's what I'm talking about. We're not crazy, man. None of these people are crazy. They've just been through some stuff, man. I mean, I wish I could cuss because I cuss like a sailor sometimes, but I don't want I don't want you guys to think of me that way. But I just that's how important it is, and this is how these experiences have affected me as much as it's affected them. And I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to do here on these podcasts. And I hope you guys share this podcast to as many people as possible that have experienced these things. Go share it to one of these groups out there that abductions or ETs or anything like that, because anytime I put my stuff out there, they're saying, "You're spamming, man. You're spamming. We don't want you here." They kick all my stuff out. No self-promotion. Stop promoting yourself. You can't do that. You can't do that. Come on, man. Cut the crap. Cut the freaking crap already with that crap. If it's disclosure and I'm giving you disclosure, it's not spam and I'm not promoting myself, all right? I'm giving my voice to everyone out there that will listen, right? So just remember that if you're a moderator, if you're an admin in your own group, you got a group out there, you see somebody like me trying to put their stuff out there for you guys to see because it's disclosure, don't cut them off, man. If you do that, you're part of the freaking problem. You shouldn't have a group, okay? We don't do that with ours. Any of our groups. We make sure that if it's disclosure, we're going to put it out there. But if you're trying to sell like some jeans or some glasses or a purse, no, that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. All right. Podcasts, we love to, if it's an open podcast, they're great. We share them on our groups all over the place, even my own podcast. We just get the information out there to as many people as possible, right? That's what we do. Just got to remember that, right? And if you know somebody, give them that information for me, please. And if you want to drop some F-bombs while you're doing it, go right ahead. Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, so if you guys are new to my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, well, welcome. I love to joke, and I'm constantly throwing jokes out there. All right, so I might piss off some people, man. I might. Hey, it's okay. It's a joke. You gotta laugh every day. That's why I put it out there. I put it out there because I like to joke all the time. I love to smile. I love to just make people laugh. That's what I do. Because some happiness goes a long way, right? That's what they say. So anyway, I've blabbed enough. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Like I said, 27, 28 platforms of audio. This is playing live right now on audio on Spreaker. And we are live here on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, X, all these places, man. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's podcast. I hope I gave you a little bit of insights, on the information out here. Catch our next podcast. If you want to be on my podcast, send me an instant message. If you got a book, you got anything you want to talk about, you have an experience, if you're an abductee, anything's paranormal, send me an instant message. I'll get you on the show. We'll talk. Hey, if you want to get your story out, give me a holler. We'd love to do that. And I'd love to be on other people's shows. Anyway, by the way, I will be on another podcast here in about, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. I'll be on another podcast on somebody else's. So I'll be giving you guys that information. You guys can check it out there. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about all, paranormal, everything that's out there. So hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Like I said, catch us on 29 platforms by now. You can even ask Alexa. She'll play some Ellie Stram podcast, all right? But until then, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening. And have yourselves a good night. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.